Hello and welcome to the United Synagogues pre-Shavuot Yizkor service. As we held before Pesach, sadly and tragically, once again, we are holding a pre-Shavuot Yizkor service because we are not yet able to return to our shuls and be able to recite Yizkor in shul, which has a great power. There's no question that it is preferable to recite Yizkor in a congregation. A congregation setting has so much more power and added power to the prayers that we make. And in addition, an opportunity to stand there with the Sefer Torah and to recite the Yizkor prayers, given that aura and that presence that we have not only in the shul, but surrounded by the Sefer Torah. However, we're not able to do that this year, and so we offer the opportunity before Shavuot to have a run through of the Yizkor prayers in advance of individually, at home privately, running through and praying in the way that we would normally do, which one can do. Yizkor can be said in private, though it's preferable in a congregation. And so I will take you through the Yizkor prayers that one should do and recite on the second day of Shavuot. There are 4 times a year that we recite Yizkor. Second day of Shavuot, and then Yom Kippur, Shmini Atzeret, and the last day of Pesach. And there is a theme that runs through each of those occasions. And the reason why those days were chosen is because, certainly when it comes to the Shalosh Regalim, the 3 festivals of Pesach, Shavuot, and Sukkot, the laning, the reading from the Torah on those days, talks about matnat yad, the giving, donations, giving of hands and contributions. And therefore there's a theme of giving on these days. And in that theme of giving, the rabbis instituted the concept of reciting Yizkor. But in order to understand Yizkor, let us take a step back and understand not the past, but life. Life, as we know it in terms of the deeds and actions that we do, is one stage of our journey. There is an afterlife. After life, there is life. That is what we believe as a Jewish people. And our end point into those heavenly worlds, after a person's passing, the entry point is determined by the good deeds and actions a person does in this world. There are an infinite number of levels of heaven where the soul elevates each year and on various occasions, but the entry point is determined by the good deeds a person performs in this world. The soul can affect and change their spiritual level and heavenly level and the level in the heavenly worlds. But there is one thing that can be changed, or one way where it can be overridden. We can override that process. And that is when good deeds are performed in memory of somebody who has passed away. It doesn't have to be by a relative. But any time a person performs a good deed, li'ilui nishmat, which we understand as in memory, but li'ilui nishmat means to the elevation of the soul, is because by doing it in their memory and saying for the sake of that soul, we are demonstrating that that soul still has a positive impact and effect in this world, which will go to their credit and will elevate the soul even further and further. This is particularly true when it comes to children, because when it comes to children, there is no requirement to do a good deed and say it's li'ilui nishmat, it is for the elevation of the soul of whoever it is. When a child does a good deed and performs a good deed, performs a mitzvah, studies Torah, performs any good deed, then even without saying it is for the elevation of the soul, that deed is credited not only to them, but also to their parents who have passed away. And that is because it is an example, a legacy has been left, that the soul of the departed still has a positive impact in this world, and therefore the soul becomes elevated. The soul of the departed parent becomes elevated by the good deeds of the child in this world. And this is, as I say, true for all relatives and all friends, but particularly true, and it's part of a mitzvah of honoring a parent. And that's why Yizkor has become so much part of our life and so important for people to be able to come to shul, to be able to recite the Yizkor. I mentioned that the theme of the day's Torah reading is that of giving, and that is because this is an integral part and a function of Yizkor, and an integral part of the Yizkor process, and that is the concept of giving. During Yizkor and during the Yizkor process, there is a commitment to give tzedakah in memory of the departed. And that's why in the Mishaberach, the Saks Machsa, in the Mishaberach, which the leader recites at the end of Yizkor, he says, he includes within it the words in which I'll just share with you now. We'll come to it later, but I'll share with you now the Mishaberach, which says, besides for blessing the congregation, it says, Asher nadvu b'lineder tzedakah lezichrei nishmas kreveim asher halchu la'olamam, who have pledged without formal vow charity in memory of the souls of their relatives who have gone to their eternal home. Some versions of Yizkor are included in the individual Yizkor prayers. But either way, giving is such an integral part of the Yizkor process, because what we are saying, what we are praying for over here, is when we say Yizkor, the word Yizkor means to remember. And we're beseeching God that He should remember the souls of our dearly departed in merit of the tzedakah, the charity, the good deeds, the charitable deeds that we do, whether our money or with our time or whatever other way. But in this particular instance, in particular with our charitable tzedakah, the charity that we give, we ask God, please remember the souls of our dearly departed, that they should be elevated by the act of goodness and kindness and tzedakah that we perform in their memory. And so, just to remind you once again, we're about to go through the prayers as a introduction really to Shavuot, but to remind you to ensure you recite these prayers as is customary on the second day of Shavuot. It can be recited any time during the day, but if you are going to be able to do it at the usual slot where Yizkor is said in between Shachrit and Musaf, after the reading of the Torah, which you should still be doing from your Chumash, then that would be ideal. But no doubt, of course, it can be said at any point that you feel that you're able or want to say it. And so now we move to the prayers, which I will begin with the prayer, the memorial prayer for the armed services, which, if you have a Koren Saks Machsa, is on page 475 in the Hebrew and 474 in the English. I will do both of those. So we begin with the prayer armed services. El Mari Rachamim, Shoicheina Bamerhoimim, Hametzei Menochanechoina, Arekanefei Ashechina, V'malais Kedoshim Otoirim, Kezoi Har Harak Yamasirim, Es Nishmois, כל אנשי החיל שנלחמו במלחמות העולם הראשונה והשנייה ובשאר מערכות שהלכו לעולמם, אנו בעל רחמים יסתירם בסתר כנפיו לעולמים ויצרור בספר החיים את נשמתם, אדוני הוא נחלתם וינוחו בשלום המשכבם ונאמר Amen. God full of mercy, who dwells on high, grant fitting rest on the wings of the divine presence, in the heights of the holy and the pure who shine like the radiance of heaven. To the souls of our brothers and sisters who risked their lives in defending this country in 2 world wars and other conflicts, who have gone to their eternal home. We beseech you, Master of compassion, shelter them in the shadow of your wings forever, and bind their souls in the bond of everlasting life. The Lord is their heritage. May they rest in peace, and let us say Amen. Once again, we have that reference to everlasting life, because in Judaism we believe in life after life. The soul continues, not only based on the good deeds that they did, but the deeds that we continue to do on their behalf and in their memory. And now move to the memorial prayer for the Israeli soldiers and victims of terror. Once again on page 475 in the Hebrew, 474 in the English. El Mare Rachamim, Shoicheina Bamerhoimim, Hametzei Menochanechoina, Al Kanefei Hashechina, V'malais Kedoshim Otoirim, V'giborim, Kezoi Har Harak Yamasirim, es nishmois hakedoshim shenilchamu b'chol malachos Yisrael hamachteres u'vitzvah hagana Yisrael v'shenaflu b'milchamatom v'es nishmois hakedoshim shenirtzachu b'figrei terror ומסרו נפשם על קדושת השם המבהרת בעבור שאנו מתפללים לעילוי נשמותיהם לא כן על הרחמים יסתירם בסתר כנפיו לעולמים ויצרור בצרור החיים את נשמותיהם אדוני נחלתם בגן עדן תמלוכתם וינוחו בשלום המשכבותיהם ושעמוד לכל ישראל זכורתם ויעמדו לגר עולם לקץ הימין ונאמר Amen. God full of mercy, who dwells on high, grant fitting rest on the wings of the divine presence in the heights of the holy, the pure and the brave, who shine like the radiance of heaven, to the souls of the holy ones who fought in any of Israel's battles, in clandestine operations, and in Israel's defense forces, who fell in battle, in terrorist atrocities, and who sacrificed their lives for the consecration of God's name, for the people and the land. And for this, we pray for the ascent of their souls. Therefore, Master of compassion, shelter them in the shadow of your wings forever, and bind their souls in the bond of everlasting life. The Lord is their heritage. May the Garden of Eden be their resting place. May they rest in peace. May their merit stand for all Israel. And may they receive their reward at the end of days. And let us say, Amen. And now, just before we go to the personal Yizkor prayers, we finally have a memorial prayer for the Holocaust victims. This is now on page 477 in the Hebrew and 476 in the English. El male rachamim dayan almanois vavi yesoimim aleno secheshev sisapak ledam Yisrael shenishbach kamoyim ametzeim menucha nechoino al kanefei hashechino v'malois kedoshim ateirim כזוהי הרקיום מאירים ומסהירים את נשמותיהם של רבבות אלפי ישראל, אנשים ונשים, ילדים וילדות, שנהרגו ונשחטו ונשרפו ונחנקו ונקברו חיים בארצות אשר נגע בהן יד הצורר הגרמני וגרוריו. כולם קדושים וטהורים ובהם גאונים וצדיקים ארזי הלבנון אדירי התורה בגן עדן תמלוכתם לא כן אבל הרחמים יסתירם בסתר כנפיו לעולמים ויצרור בצרור החיים את נשמתם אדוני נחלתם וינוחו בשלום המשכבם ונאמר Amen. God full of mercy, justice of widows and father of orphans, please do not be silent and hold your peace for the blood of Israel that was shed like water. Grant fitting rest on the wings of the divine presence, in the heights of the holy and the pure who shine and radiate like the radiance of heaven, to the souls of the millions of Jews, men, women, and children who were murdered, slaughtered, burned, strangled, and buried alive in the lands touched by the German enemy and its followers. They were all holy and pure. Among them were great scholars and righteous individuals, cedars of Lebanon, and noble masters of Torah. May the Garden of Eden be their resting place. Therefore, Master of compassion, shelter them in the shadow of your wings forever, and bind their souls in the bond of everlasting life. The Lord is their heritage. May they rest in peace. And let us say, Amen. And now follows the service of personal Yizkor prayers, which begins on page 477. There are a series of psalms, verses of psalms that introduce the prayers themselves, the individual private Yizkor prayers. I'm going to leave a few moments now for those who wish on this occasion to spend a few moments to say these prayers and reflect on the memory of their loved ones and make that commitment to give to good deeds and particularly charity in their memory. And we'll come back in a few moments to the conclusion of the Yizkor service. The personal Yizkor prayers conclude with Psalm 16, which can be found on page 483 in the Hebrew and 482 in the English. And as ever, if you're not able or don't feel that you can follow the Hebrew, then by all means, please do recite the prayers in English. And so we conclude the Yizkor service with a paragraph that is recited, besides for Yizkor, only 2 other times during the year before Musaf. Twice a year we recite this. This is a memorial prayer for martyrs throughout the generations. Avarachamim, shoichenem eroimim, ברחמיו העצומים, ויפקוד ברחמים, החסידים והישרים והתמימים, קהילויס הקודש שמו בוסרו נפשם, על קדוש השם, הנאהבים והנעימים בחייהם, ובמויסם לא נפרדו, מן השרים כלו, ומהארץ גברו, לעשות רצון קוינם וחפץ צורם. יזכרם אלוהינו לטובה, עם שיער צדיקי העולם, וינקום לעינינו נגמס דם אבותיו השפוך, ככתוב בסורת מוישה איש אלוהים, הרנינו גויים עמוי, כי דם עבדיו יקוים, ונקם ישיב לצריו, וכיפר עד מסע ימי, ויעלה ידי עבדיך הנביאים, כוסו ולאמור, ונקייסי דמם לא נקייסי, ואדוני שוכן בציון, ובכספי הקודש נאמר, למה יאמרו הגויים איה אלוהיהם, יבודה בגויים לעינינו, נגמס דם עבדיך השפוך, ויאמר, כי דורש דמים מויסם זכר, לא ישכח צעקת ענבים, ויאמר, יודעים בגויים עלי גביות, מוחת משל ארץ רבה, ונחל בדרך ישתה, על כן ירים ראש. Father of compassion, who dwells on high, may he remember in his compassion the pious, the upright and the blameless, holy communities who sacrificed their lives for the sanctification of God's name. Lovely and pleasant in their lives, in death they were not parted. They were swifter than eagles and stronger than to do with their maker and the desire of their Creator. O our God, remember them for good with the other righteous of the world, and may he exact retribution for the shed blood of his servants, as it is written in the Torah of Moses, the man of God. O nations, acclaim his people, for he will avenge the blood of his servants, wreak vengeance on his foes, and make clean his people's land. And by your servants the prophets it is written, I shall cleanse their blood which I have not yet cleansed, says the Lord who dwells in Zion. And in the holy writings it says, why should the nations say, where is their God? Before our eyes may those nations know that you avenge the shed blood of your servants. And it also says, for the avenger of blood remembers them and does not forget the cry of the afflicted. And it further says, he will execute judgment among the nations, filled with the dead, crushing rulers far and wide. From the brook by the wayside he will drink, then he will hold his head high. May we merit to hold our heads high. This concludes the Yizkor service. And I hope that I've been able to give you an opportunity to have a run through of the service in advance of Shavuot, just as a gentle reminder of what we do and how we do things. And once again, I remind you to recite Yizkor on the second day of Shavuot, and to hold on to the silver lining that these circumstances present us, which is maybe just a little bit more time than we otherwise, though we do try, but a little bit more time than we otherwise would have been given in Shul to reflect and think about our actions and how they may be a credit, either in the past or particularly in the future, not just by the tzedakah that we give on this occasion, but to think about how we can continue to be a credit to our dearly departed. And in so doing, not only will God remember the souls of the departed, he will remember the souls and the bodies of all those who are living and bring health, recovery, happiness, and peace for us and all the world. Amen. Chag Sameach. And enjoy. Have a wonderful Yom Tov. Chag Sameach.